came, right? Death of the husband. How one reacted and how the other reacted is because of the thinking. RET is nothing but how to help you change your thinking so that you have better relationships and peace of mind. We are disturbed not by people, not by things, not by events. We are disturbed due to our own irrational belief system, due to our own thinking. When I came back from the States, which was long, long ago, and there I saw all these loose relationships, boyfriends and girlfriends, and I was young and good looking, and you know how American boys are, they go crazy about India. It did not suit my person. But when I came back here and I see things are the same, I had to change my thinking to accept to live in a world where relationships of the teenagers are the same. Marital conflicts. We think only marriages are breaking there, and my brothers, sisters are there, I get all the news also. What's happening today here? Because the whole world, everywhere the thinking has changed. I'm not bothered what's happening around me. I'm bothered about me and the cases that come to my counseling, for my counseling. I help them to practice RET, I give them homework, and they change their thinking and accept. You people have already practiced this in your life. If your son doesn't listen to you, or your wife doesn't listen to you, you get angry, you fret, you do everything, and then after some time you accept, no? What happens? What do? You change your thinking. You change your thinking, no? She doesn't change, he doesn't change. Eventually you are changing your thinking. So why get upset and burn our psychological energy in anger? Why not make it a philosophy of life by practicing these concepts? As I said, it's not an overnight job. It takes time. So you are disturbed not by people or things or events. You are disturbed by your own So emotional disturbances come due to your own thinking, which is wrong, and nobody else and things around can disturb you. Is this clear? Is this clear, or ask me questions? You are not feeling fine. So you are dwelling in the past, and right now you are frustrated. You want to get rid of your frustration. Yeah, that I understand, but the whole crux of the problem is you are frustrated, which many people from the Gulf who have come are frustrated. We'll come to that later on. Any questions on this? No, your thinking should not be everything is okay. You analyze your thinking where it is irrational and make it rational. For when I say, my father must behave that way, it's an irrational thought. I make it rational. It could be better if my father behaves like that. And if he doesn't behave like that, I want to be okay. See, every minute we get irritated, we get angry, or we feel depressed, or we feel frustrated. What are we doing to ourselves? We are losing a lot of psychological energy. It's burning. And to replace those psychological energy is a very difficult task. And as I have come, I am seeing all these posters of the muscle and the health and all. This is a health library. But I feel there is more importance given to physical health. What about the mental health? We are taking care of our figure, what food to eat, what not to eat, or doctors write a diet for us. And after all the medical reports, I have fallen sick many times and done a lot of medical reports and MRIs and all. And then doctor says, oh, your reports are clear. I think it is due to stress. So I said, doctor, I can give you stress. I told him I thought of telling him one day. I know how to handle my stress. I'm a RET person. But I didn't tell him. When the doctors can't locate anything, they tell you, oh, it is stress. Either go to a counselor or you talk to your parents. Something like that, they put you off. We have to be our own counselor. I taught thousands of students how to do self-counseling in my groups. And they used to write beautiful evaluation. And now also when they, ma'am, I'm a RET person myself. You can be your own counselor, which you already are practicing. You are already changing your thinking when you can't get your way out. But you're only doing that after burning a lot of energy, which is my concern. Don't burn your psychological energy for small things. I had a girl for counseling. She's 30 years old. And still she's upset and depressed. My mother loved my brother more than me. Still now she's upset about that, because in those days boys were given more attention than the girls. So what is she doing to herself? She's got everything. You should sit and ponder and get upset on these little things. I told her, why do you need the love of your mother? Love yourself, it's enough. When she has got everything and still she gripes about what you don't have, very immature personality. Why can't she be happy with what she's got? This is what we don't do. And what we don't have, if we change our thinking, we get it immediately and we feel mentally relaxed. Is this clear? So emotional disturbances are caused by irrational thoughts. Now, there are 12 irrational thoughts. Dr. Ellis has done so much research for 10 years. Of course, now he's no more. 10 years, and he impounded on RET. And he says there are 12 irrational beliefs. We should know how to make the 12 into rational beliefs. And that I cannot go into detail now. It's a very big topic. So if we know how to dispute the irrational belief, we'll be very rational people, satisfied emotionally. Understand? Ask me questions. What's the time, up to 4:30? No, I have the time, but what time I have to start? Any questions? I would like you all to write down this. Highlights of RAP. One of the irrational thought is, oh, it's awful, it's terrible. Anything happens, we feel it's terrible. If I had come late for 15 minutes, the organizer would, oh, it's terrible, she's not come, she's the speaker. Wife does something. Recently I had a phone call, I'm in the helpline. A Parsi fellow calls me from Kolaba. Ma'am, my wife is having a boyfriend and we have a son and daughter who are going to college. Don't you think it is terrible? See, all the time things go wrong, we say, oh, it's terrible. It is catastrophic. If you ask me, it is. For that old man. Maybe not for me. Everything that goes not our way, we feel it is terrible. Why? Because we use wrong terminologies. A student doesn't get 90%, oh, it's terrible. And nowadays you all see suicide cases of students. Why? Because their parents inculcated, it's terrible, it is catastrophic if you don't get this much. These words, terrible, catastrophic, are very wrong terminologies. These are the terminologies which in the 12 irrational beliefs we can discuss. So write down, nothing is awful and terrible or catastrophic, but disappointing and frustrating. If you make it terrible, it's terrible, but say, oh, it's frustrating. A young boy came recently to me, my wife wants a divorce, don't you think it's terrible? Why? Because she says she's earning more salary and she wants a better husband and she can't get along with me. And psychologically she is feeling he's got a less salary. So she fights on everything and they have one child. So I told him, everywhere things are the same, divorce is coming up, conflict. Why do you think it's terrible? Don't you think it's just frustrating? Yeah, I think so, because my friend is going through the same. Yeah, I think it's frustrating. So change your terminology, change your thinking if you can. Write down. I make them write a lot. I give them a lot of homework, my cases. It's frustrating. So, nothing is terrible.